Realer than real.
Hello everyone. Welcome back. It's been a minute. I think it's probably been, hold on, I want to get,
Realer than real.
I think it's been 2 weeks, but I just want to double check. Would hate to be wrong about how inconsistent I've been. Let's just check on this. My last upload was 13 days ago, so yes, that is 2 weeks. Well, it'll actually be after 2 weeks once this is actually uploaded, but it is what it is. Editing Shamira popping in here to say that I am so gagged that I thought I was going to be able to have this podcast uploaded and everything, to the point where me not posting in just over 2 weeks would have been true. But now it's been about a whole month. Yeah. Sorry. I think I always do this on my main YouTube channel too, where I always start off every video I'm not even going to tell you guys why I've been away for so long, because it doesn't even matter, and then I go into it. But I am going to do that here. You know what it is that, so I think I've talked about my job on here once or twice, but to maintain some discretion and some privacy, I work at an institution, I work at a university in a housing and residence life office. So August, the writing's on the wall, babe. If you've ever been involved with higher education, you've gone to college yourself, or you've sent a young one off to college, you already know how stressful August is on your end. So you can imagine how stressful it is on, my end, on my office's end. It's fucking crazy right now. But I just want to say this. We're basically... This probably would have made more sense to say in the beginning of August had I been more consistent. But this will honestly probably be the only episode I post this month, because starting this week, if I do post this podcast on time on Thursday, that'll be my second night of staying on campus out of, I think, 9 or 10 days I have to stay on campus for the process of move-in, and then all the new student things that come along with that, like orientation, things like that. So yeah, your girl's gonna be busy, occupied. I'm obviously not gonna bring all of my stuff to film my podcast while I'm down there. For those who don't know, I work in DC, live in Baltimore, and for move-in, we have longer days that I have to be there earlier for. And I already wake up basically at the ass crack of dawn to get to work. And at the time I need to get to work for move-in, yeah, it's giving I might as well stay my ass in DC. So, So for that episode, I was going to do things that put me in a bad mood. And it was going to be really aggressive because I was in a bad mood then. But now I'm in a good mood, but I still want to talk about the things that did recently put me in a bad mood. And I just want to rant about some things. So some of these things actually really pissed me the fuck off. And I want to talk to you about it and see if you agree. Bitch. And I just posted a TikTok about this. So I don't know if this rule applies to everywhere that ever has escalators. I'm assuming it does, because now it kind of makes sense to me. Bitch, this pisses me clean the fuck off. Okay. On an escalator, right? Usually they're wide enough to have two sides. If you get on an escalator and you see one side of people isn't moving, and you, right as you were getting on the escalator, you see you're standing on the side of people that were moving right before you, and you decide to stand there. Because now if I yell out at you, fucking move, then all of a sudden now I'm the bitch. Then I'm the person in the wrong. My mind cannot grasp it. So like I said, I work in DC. Obviously with the metros, it's escalators out the wazoo. There's escalators everywhere. And it's not, to my knowledge, it's not an official written rule, but it is something that is so understood by everybody that you stand to the right side of the elevator. I feel like I keep saying elevator. I mean escalator. But you stand to the right side of the escalator if you want to just stand on the escalator and let the technology do its work. If you are going to use the escalator like stairs, then you stand your ass to the left, right? Which means if you're standing on the left, but you don't want to move, you're in the fucking wrong, sir. Oh, y'all, when I tell you, I was trying to get to work. Now, my commute to work, I've timed it out pretty well to where I'm never going to be late. Even if I miss one metro or two metro, if I miss like one metro, I'm usually just fine, right? But I try to get on that early one because I want to get to work just a tad bit early. Not even like, I won't even get to work actually super early. It's really all about getting the shuttle to work, because if I catch the first metro, then it don't matter, right? None of that even matters. It doesn't matter how early or late I'm gonna be, because what really gags me is that when this person stood on the wrong side of the escalator, he had, cause I had on my headphones, right? I'm listening to music, but I'm looking at him. I'm waiting for him to move. I think somebody had said something like, maybe they sucked their teeth. Maybe they said, man, like, oh, he had the nerve to look back as if somebody else was in the wrong. See, now you're being annoying as fuck. Fucking move. Like, oh God. I wouldn't be as mad if he didn't know. It's clear he was traveling in from somewhere because he had suitcases and stuff. But even then, I'm gonna tell you this, and this might be controversial. If you have suitcases and they're super bulky and you can't stand anywhere else on the escalator, then maybe your ass should take the fucking elevator. How about that? Oh, you guys, it pissed me off so bad, and it continues to piss me off when it happens. I remember one time I was about to go up the escalator, and I was gonna walk up, and I saw this guy sitting on the wrong side. I'm like, okay, great. And his girlfriend straight up just yanks the fuck out of him to get him over to the right side of the escalator. Because you know what? That lady has common sense. That lady said, oh, you will not embarrass me. Get the fuck over here. I cannot deal with people who are stupid. I remember, actually, side note, I made a TikTok about this a while ago. When I was filling out this questionnaire, if I should go to therapy or not, one of the questions was, do you get easily irritated by other people's actions? And like, I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but yes, I do. Like, I'm very irritated by the stupid choices that people make, whether they concern me or not, right? And I made a TikTok about it, and I was like, is that not a normal thing for you to be, like, I'm not even asking, like, for comedic purposes. Is it not normal to be irritated when someone does something mildly stupid? And we'll say, for this scenario, that it affects you, right? So this person not moving on the escalator, granted, it didn't make me late to work, but like, you're on the wrong side, fucking move. Like, is that not something that like the normal, like average person would get irritated about? Oh, it just pissed me clean off. That really got me heated. I need to take a sip of water. You got me wait, I feel like after each thing, let me get my fan, hold on. Okay, so after each thing that annoys me, I'm gonna clack my heated fan. That might be kind of loud. I'll turn it down, but yeah. Okay, the next thing. People commenting, we miss the old Sam on Sam Smith's TikToks. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell y'all heifers this. So, for context, when Sam Smith came out with, oh my God, Holy, right? Unholy? Unholy. Mommy don't know that he's getting hot at the body shop. Doing something unholy. He said back, was it? Like, first of all, I love that song unironically. I feel like people didn't like that song. I don't know why. Y'all just seem kind of boring to me. Y'all don't love fun pop music, but whatever, go off. But one of the comments that I kept seeing under Sam Smith's comment section was, we miss the old Sam. And now that Sam Smith, they're back performing some of their older hits. So like the, basically all the songs from In the Lonely Hour, which, I mean, if we talk about good, cohesive pieces of work, that album, In the Lonely Hour and In the Lonely Hour, I guess it's like the deluxe version, so fucking good. Like, of course we know the main hits like, you say I'm crazy, 'cause you don't think I know what you've done. But there are some other ones. I feel like these are deep cuts and people don't talk about them enough. But y'all were sleeping, but I was there. Hold on. I want to play one really quick. Sam Smith, they ate down with the sad songs. Like some of these songs got me through breakups I'd never even been through at this age. So wait, let me see. So In the Lonely Hour came out in 2014. Well, I might have known a heartbreak in the form of unrequited love. Maybe not like actual heartbreak, but I did know some heartbreak back then. Leave Your Lover is so good. Oh, Not in That Way. Some of these all of these are so good. I've Told You Now is like really powerful too. I don't know. Every time recently, I've been getting like a lot of copyright strikes on here, and it's a pain in the ass to take it out of an episode. But pause this episode really quick. Pause the Realer Than Real podcast right now. Go listen to I've Told You Now and Not in That Way. Those are probably two of my favorite songs from this album. But anyway, Sam Smith has been performing a lot of those songs recently, and all the comments are like, oh, this is the Sam I miss. I love this Sam. They're also dressing like very, compared to their era when they were doing like Unholy and stuff, they're dressing a lot more, demure. If you know the TikTok trend, is dressing very demure, very petite. Dressing very demure, not doing too much. But all the comments are like that. And I'm going to say this, that some of the comments could very much apply to the style of music, right? Because maybe Unholy was a little too pop for the girls. If you don't like good music, though, just say that. Well, maybe Unholy was a little too, like, it is very different from Sam Smith's typical discography. Like, if you ever listen to a Sam Smith song, I won't say you've heard them all, because they're a very diverse artist. They're able to do a lot of different genres, or they're able to do a lot of different styles in their singing. But for the most part, Sam Smith does kind of like the ballad music, the slow music, the sad music. That being said, Unholy is very different from that, and it was very much a different era. But what I liked about Sam Smith in that era is that they felt free to me. They felt very like in their element. They felt very happy. Regardless of what people were saying, they felt very themselves. It kind of reminded me of when Miley Cyrus went to like her like trippy, kind of like druggy like phase, when it was like hippies and like smiley faces and like, you know the era. I don't listen to any of the music from that era, but you know the era. Like, of course there's like a palatable version of that artist that we can all appreciate sometimes, but I like to see an artist kind of being themselves in a way that's not like destructive and in a way that doesn't harm themselves. And I really felt like that was what Sam Smith was doing. And so many of the comments that I would see under their TikToks would be like, oh, I miss the old Sam, but it would only pertain to the way that Sam dressed or the way he was acting. And I'm like, okay, so because what Sam Smith was doing was like fully like being in his queerness and like being just like out loud with it, or just expressing it the way that they want to. And to me, what it felt like, and to me what it still kind of reads now, is people only like the Sam Smith version. People only like Sam Smith when he is like an aesthetic of what queerness means, what gay means, when it's like palatable to them. Like, you can't accept him you can't accept them when they're wearing like sparkly outfits and it's it's giving scantily clad, and they're singing "Mommy don't know that it's getting hot at the body shop," but you put Sammy in an old suit or whatever, and now it's like, this is the Sam I miss. Now I feel like, and of course I'm gonna say it again, these commenters could absolutely be talking about Sam Smith's music, but some of y'all know what y'all fucking mean, and it's rude. It's rude. It's very rude. So, no, that's something that's been pissing me off lately. But Sam Smith, if you're listening, and I know you are because this is the best podcast in the world, continue to do you. Continue to give us music in every single genre that you feel, that you feel free in, that you feel yourself in, and I'll listen. But what I really want you to do, get back in that studio with them boys from Disclosure and give us a "Now I got you in my name, I won't let go of you. Never." That's another thing that got me heated. This is so annoying. Okay, let's see what's next. I just have Stan Twitter here. Stan Twitter. I think specifically, so I think I meant this in two ways. One, just in general, like I'll just be scrolling on Twitter. I'll just see a Stan account and they'll post like a picture of like Chappell Roan. And it was like, who even listens to this artist? And it's like when people eat them up in the replies, and it's like, actually I do. Or people say like, if you don't have taste, just say that. Or, hey, so like this is invalid, take this down. Like, it's just like, I just don't understand. I understand running a Stan account. I used to. Full disclosure, I did used to run a One Direction Twitter Stan account. I fully get it. What I don't get is like engaging. Like, I just feel like nowadays, from someone who like, I just don't understand the constant like need to engage in such hostile like internet activity. Like, I'm telling y'all, like a Stan account, they'll go from like literally tweeting 3 videos of their faves, and they'll tweet something like, I think people need to realize that I'm trying to think of someone that won't give me, like, let's say it's like a fucking like Fall Out Boy stan page, right? I'm just gonna say something that actually isn't a stan page so that people won't try to come for me. But it'll be like, I think we actually need to address what happened at the award show when this artist was giving this award to Fall Out Boy and they shook all three of the band members' hands, but they didn't shake this fourth person. This person is being hostile. They need to be canceled. All this stuff, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, sometimes, and I'm telling y'all this as a former Stan account person, it feels like nowadays Stan accounts make problems to like keep their artists relevant. Whoa, that's kind of crazy to say though. No, that's kind of crazy, but I mean it. I mean it. I actually mean it. So that's one side of Stan Twitter. Specifically right now, I've been engaging in BB Twitter. Big Brother Twitter, because Big Brother's on right now. If you don't watch Big Brother, it's a splendid reality TV show. It's like the ultimate pressure cooker social experiment where you take, I think it's around like 26 house guests. It kind of changes season to season, but you take 26 people and you put them in the same house for an entire summer, completely cut off from the outside world, no phones, no nothing. They don't even get like, the only thing they get to connect them to the outside world is that if they win head of household, then they get like a letter from a loved one back at home. But other than that, they don't get anything else. It's not like Survivor where your family members can come out to visit you during a certain competition. Big Brother is great. I love Big Brother. I one day hope to go on it. Like, that's literally my dream, to go on and fucking win. Because I think I could. But I love Big Brother, right? With that being said, I think that I like social media for the fact that like you can engage in fun kind of like group activities as far as like watching TV. Like, I've talked about it on here before, but there's nothing that will compare to the feeling of like collectively all watching Euphoria at the same time and all of us tweeting about it and engaging with each other while watching the show. Very fun, right? Big Brother this season, I don't know what it is. I am just not gelling with the girls. Like, everybody seems to like this one house guest who I cannot fucking stand. And I feel like people like him just because he's attractive. And it's really been pissing me off. It's really been pissing me off because he's playing a fucking terrible game. And everyone's like, oh, he's bringing back real entertainment. I don't understand why people want him out. Girl, because he's playing a bad game. I would rather watch someone who's playing a good game. They might be a little bit boring, but at least they're proving to me that they're not a wasted spot. I don't appreciate people who just do, like, he's just doing I feel like to talk about Big Brother, it, like, literally the Big Brother iceberg is so, like, it's deep. It's got a lot of layers to it. Like, there's so much to understand. Maybe one day I could dedicate a whole episode to Big Brother. I actually think it'd be pretty fun to do, like, a whole episode. My voice just got so high just now when I said that. Anyway, I think it would be pretty fun to do an entire episode dedicated to something. Like, right now, I very much enjoy my 3-segment breakup, but I feel like I want to switch it up somehow, but I don't really know how. 3 segments makes the most sense in my head, because 1, 2, 3, like, the rule of threes, of course, but I feel like it'd be something to, like, look into. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I think the only reason I'm not enjoying Stan Twitter is, the only time that Stan Twitter isn't fun is when you're on, like, the opposite end of, like, where everyone else is, because now you gotta fight for your life. You tweet something out, and now everyone's jumping down your throat. Like, I tweeted something out. It didn't go too crazy, but the few people that did interact with it, they tried to come at me. But here's what you don't know. Here's what they don't know. I love to argue online. I've hung up that hat recently because, honestly and truthfully, I don't have the energy. Like, I had a tweet go, like, viral not too long ago. Let me tell y'all. Wait. Actually, I want to read through some of these replies to y'all, because this was a crazy time for me. Okay. Oh my God. So somebody tweeted, what does it even mean when a man says, I got a lot going on? As a joke, because we're allowed to make jokes on social media, I said, 1, he has a girlfriend. 2, he has a girlfriend or baby mama that he wants to get back with. 3, he has eyes on someone else. 4, he has a baby on the way. When I tell y'all, bro, the men, they ate me up. They hated this tweet. The girls that got it. The people that thought it was a joke got it. But some of these people, here we go. This is funny. Seek ketamine and shrooms therapy. No, thank you. Go heal. Okay, T, you ate with that one. No, they ate me up, or they at least attempted to. But honestly, it was fun because that was a joke, and I have a theory about whenever women make jokes online, that's when people choose to be dense and not accept it. But anyway, stay on Twitter. Another thing that got me heated. Next is underconsumption core. So you would not understand this if you weren't on TikTok, but this actually fits perfectly because, you know, earlier when I was talking about the people that do like the $700 like Amazon haul and things like that, I totally understand how when it gets to a certain point, it ends up just being that people have too many things. You know, for example, I'll even give you this, if you have more than 3 Stanley cups, it's too much. Like, the idea of having multiple reusable bottles that you bought with your own money is kind of crazy. I think right now, I only have 2 reusable bottles for my water. I have the one that I take with me. It's back there on my coffee table. I don't know if it's actually in frame. I don't think so, but I have that one. And it's a travel cup, and I take it everywhere with me. Like, that's the one I take out of the house. I have this pink one, but this is the one that stays in the house. And then that's it. And the only time I ever buy a new water bottle is if I absolutely need a new one. Like, if for somehow, some way, I lost like a very like crucial piece of the water bottle or something like that. But other than that, you don't need that many. The girls, and there's a part of me that I will watch this content, I will engage in it, but this could never be me because you don't need this stuff. The people that like, they have an entire Bath and Body Works collection, like, and I'm saying like, they have 10 like things, like 10 body scrubs, 10 lotion, like not even 10, it's like way more than that, but they just have so much of Bath and Body Works products that when you look in their shower or wherever they keep their products, it's like you're in a like pop-up Bath and Body Works store. Like, it's so much, right? That part of overconsumption is not okay. What I do feel like now, honestly, and this might be like, I don't know, there is a point where we have to stop sometimes. Like, I definitely am like not a fan of like fast fashion anymore. I'll be very honest. I don't do the Shein stuff anymore because Shein to me is just like, I know a lot of people still do it because of affordability, and I totally understand that. But I do just think, even sometimes now when I see people do like, you know, they're like, oh, $500 Shein haul. It's like, do you need all that stuff? Did you need all that? I definitely think that like clothes are something we can start to peel back on when it comes to overconsumption, you know, and that plays into the whole like micro trend things, you know, like every single month it feels like, or at least every single season, there's a new micro trend, and everyone feels like they have to shop for it and get everything for it, only for it to just fade out. There are some things that can stay, like, I feel like recently, like, I feel like last winter, the mob wife aesthetic became in, and it was like furs, you know, like, deep reds and things like that. And while I don't know if that will be a trend for this upcoming winter, I do think something that did stick around from that is the staple red bag. Like a monochromatic outfit, all black or all white or whatever color you want it to be, and a staple red bag, that's sick. That's sickening, right? That's not demure. That's very sickening. But on the other side of that, so the way to combat overconsumption and seeing so much overconsumption on people's For You pages on TikTok is for people to show underconsumption. Look, and I get it, right? I think there's something to be said about a home that like shows that it's been lived in. Like, not everything needs to look like the, you know, the absolute like the buzzworthy pieces on Amazon. Like, not everyone needs to have like that bright pink Ibiza like coffee style book. You know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. Not everyone needs to have that. I totally get that. But some of the girlies on underconsumption core, now it's just like, okay, like, we get you don't want to buy things, but now it's like, oh, here's my ratty 50-year-old chair that's never been cleaned because I don't believe in wasting money on cleaning products, and springs are popping out, but I'm not going to replace it because I'm under consuming. And it's like, do you want a cookie then? Like, I know you hate to see it. I know you hate to hear it. I'm just being honest. Like, you don't get cookies for over-consuming, right? But you also don't get cookies for not giving yourself nice things when you need them, especially if it's like old ratty furniture. I'm just saying. And I feel like it's something that you have to be like chronically on TikTok to see. But whenever I see underconsumption core videos, I'm like, okay, let me see what it's giving. I feel like my apartment Well, you know what? I will say that a lot of the stuff I didn't have to buy, a lot of the stuff I already had, but I did have to buy a lot of things for this apartment. But I don't feel like it's ever giving overconsumption. I feel like everything I have in this apartment is very intentional. There are a few probably like books I could have done without, but no. I feel like overconsumption core is having too many of the same things to the point where it feels like your home feels like you are grocery shopping, or you're, house product shopping, or you're body care shopping in your home. It definitely doesn't give overconsumption core. My home is eclectic. Actually, two different things. And I think that's what the girlies are getting. That's where the mix-up is happening. People are confusing being eclectic with over-consuming. I have a lot of things in here, right? But it's not like I have 10 of these water bottles, right? And I switch it out every day to match with my outfit. It's not like I have a new crossbody bag and every single color to go with all of my outfits. Because you notice what the Lululemon girls are doing. They get, they buy the all yellow set and then get the yellow bag. And next day they're wearing all white. They might switch it up and go for the purple bag. But they have the all white bag. Like, it'll never give that in here. I'm not much of a bag person anyway. But like, it'll never give that. But I just like a lot of things. And I feel like that's really where the mix-up comes in. But yeah, I don't know. It's something like, I feel like you'd only understand if you've seen it on TikTok. But sometimes the underconsumption girls, they really piss me off. They got me heated. This is so funny. The next I just put, when a bitch you don't like actually eats. And I'm talking specifically about Camila Cabello. So she has a song with City Girls. I think it's called Dade County, right? Let me look it up. Okay, yeah, it's called Dade County. Now, Camila Cabello, I can't stand her. Most people can't. I can't even go into all the lore behind her, but she is fairly insufferable. She's gotten to a new era in her music. If everything didn't happen with her before, like if all of her things, including being a terrible person, didn't happen with her before, if she just came out as this blonde girl doing this kind of like hyper pop music, she'd be taking it. But because people still know her as the girl in Fifth Harmony who would always try to outsing her castmates or always try to outsing her group mates, this girl who, when her fans were saying racist stuff to the only black member of Fifth Harmony, she did nothing about it. The girl who just continues to do too much. If all that stuff didn't happen, she'd be taking it right now. But because it's really hard to separate her from all of her like just scandals and like bad shit from her past. But with that being said, now I'm not streaming her music. I will say I'm not streaming her music. And I'm only liking the videos of when people do the dance. But the dance, it goes crazy. Right now, I don't know if you can look it up. If you have TikTok, go ahead and look up Dade County dance. Don't watch one of hers. Watch like someone else doing it. I'm just obsessed with it. City Girls XOXO. I'm from the thing, and I'm telling you right now, I only do like lifestyle content on TikTok, but if I was like a variety person, I'd absolutely already post me doing that dance at least 7 times. It is just such a good dance. Like, it just hits. It just eats. I would play right now, but again, I don't want to get into copyright issues, but it eats. And it's so upsetting when a bitch you don't like actually is taking it, but she's taking it. I'll be very honest. That dance is sickening. That's got me heated. The last thing I have is, and this is like very topical, serious stuff as social media fodder, which one, good word on my part. But what I mean by that is really just like, I don't like when people talk about very serious things and if it's like conversational topics. And I usually mean this with like people that report, quote unquote, report on true crime stuff. And they're like, I've read this case and it kept me up all night, which like, I don't know. I just feel like if you are going to take it upon yourself to create content about horrific events that have happened, like literally people's lives being taken, I need you to take it a little more seriously. Or like, I hate people start off videos like, and I don't have the creators in mind that have done this, but like, I know when I've seen it, they'll sit down, they'll be like, girl, we got to talk about insert serial killer's name here. And I'm like, can you talk about it with a little more tact and grace? Like, people have died. People were, ill-cade. Like, people were ill-cade. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, can we have a little more grace and tact? Like, I already think the idea of making content about this kind of stuff is very strange. Especially, I don't know. Like when there's like documentaries on it, it's one thing, but I don't know. I already think that stuff is weird anyway. If it's done in a way that doesn't offer anything like educational, like for example, I watched this YouTube channel, JCS. What is it called? I think JCS stands for like Jim Can't Swim, and they do like criminal psychology. Now I will say this, I'm inactive. When I tell you I literally love this YouTube channel and they haven't posted in God knows how long. Every day I open my YouTube app and I pray for a new video from them. And the rain never comes. Yeah, their last video was a year ago. Oh my God. Jim, come back to us, please. But yeah, I mean, they've covered a lot of things, and they like go into the psychology of detective interrogations, you know, like if there is like video evidence from like the actual trials, things like that. And so that to me offers a educational element while also, I don't even want to say telling a story, but like sharing information about like a very pivotal case, right? Or a very pivotal moment in true crime history. But when people just kind of treat it as like, oh, I got the tea for you on this. And it's like, people have died. Maybe don't. Maybe let's not. Anyway. Oh, wait. That's another thing that's got me. Wait, that wasn't good. Heated. Okay. Yeah, so those are all the things that have put me in a bad mood recently. I feel like a lot of them were valid. I feel like all of them are valid. But let me know what you think. What things have been putting you in a bad mood? I'd love to know. I'd love to hear it. But for now, we're going to take a quick break. And we'll be right back. I don't know what you're doing if you're not following the pod on Instagram and TikTok. But if not, let's get it together, babe. You can find the podcast on Instagram at The Realer Than Real Podcast and on TikTok at The Realer Than Real Pod. Whether it's cute behind the scenes moments, previews of upcoming episodes, or some other third thing, trust when I say you don't want to miss out. Alrighty, you guys, and we are back. End of the first segment, beginning of the second segment. You know what that means, except this time, you don't. Because I want to do something a little different. I think I might change something. I know you all were loving Drinks of the Week because you were so responsive to it. No, I'm joking. Not, but like I am. But I know that we all love Drinks of the Week. And I think that's fine and dandy. But I want to switch it up to just kind of broaden it and just do new things of the week. I feel like it can help us all just kind of talk about new things we've experienced recently that we just want to try, that we just want to talk about. Like when you do something new and exciting and you can't help but bring it up in every conversation. That's what we're going to do here from now on. So say goodbye to Drinks of the Week. Play the sad song. In the arms of the angel, fly away. That? No, because that sounded good. You guys, I can really think sometimes. What's another like sad song? How do I say goodbye to what we had? Great song. The good times that made us laugh. That's a really good song, actually. Shocker, it's Boys to Men. What's another good one? Now I just have that stuck in my head. Wait, how's it go? And I'll take with me the memories to leave my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. I won't try and do the run because I don't want to embarrass myself because I feel like that didn't sound too bad either, so I'm cutting my losses. Anyway, let me see. When I think about new things that I've tried recently, oh my God. So one of my favorite things, I absolutely love breakfast. Breakfast is my favorite meal of the day. Like, love a good lunch, right? Love a good dinner. But something about breakfast is just so special to me. I don't know what it is. I just love breakfast food, right? So last Sunday, me and my boyfriend were just staying in for the day. Like, we just want to have a lazy Sunday. And I was like, oh, I want to make us breakfast. One thing about me, I love a good French toast. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to make us French toast, bacon. I'll make him eggs. I don't really eat eggs. But I was like, okay, this time I want to do something because I've been getting better and better at my French toast. I just recently made the switch. So let me tell y'all this. Because one thing I've been learning about living on my own, I think especially like I think maybe if I had a car, I would be able to go to my grandmother's house more and then I could eat like more of her home cooked meals. But because I don't have a car and because I live alone, I want to learn how to like cook on my own and stuff. I want to learn, but also just so because I don't have a car and because I live alone, I want to be able to like learn how to cook on my own and make things that I actually want to eat. But other than that, I really do like enjoy cooking. I just, the idea of like following an ingredient list and making something, and you know, like even the idea of like cooking something and maybe it doesn't turn out exactly the way you wanted it to, but even in that process of like, okay, this pasta is too salty. What can I do different next time? You know what I'm saying? Like I love that learning curve process of it. So I love cooking. I love making breakfast. I recently just learned how to make a really good French toast. I set my like French toast batter up like a custard. So I use 2 cups of a cream, 4 eggs. I'm gonna tell you right now, it comes out so good every time. I want to start investing in like a really good like quality bread to really like help me elevate it to the next level. But I was like, okay, you know what? I want to do something very like straight from the restaurant. I want to make my own French compote. And I'm like, okay, it can't be that hard, right? Like it literally cannot be that hard. You're basically just like, I don't know the exact terminology. It's not like cooking, but like, are you reducing? Is it a reduction? Like a strawberry reduction? Come on now. Come on, Top Chef. But, so I wanted to like make my own like strawberry reduction. So I got myself some strawberries. I cut them up, put them in the like little saucepan with the sugar, let that reduce. And then I added like a little bit of lemon juice. And when I tell y'all, putting that on top of the French toast was so good. I was like really impressed with myself because yes, it was like so easy to make, but it's crazy how like something so simple can really help elevate your dish. And I just loved it so much. Like I just love breakfast. I had pretty much everything left over from that Sunday, and I just used it today. I'm filming this episode on a Sunday. But I just used it today to make myself breakfast this morning, and everything was just so good. I loved it so much. Another cooking thing recently, I made the best pasta I've ever had. Now, one thing about me, I love pasta. I probably eat it. It's been a while since I've had it because I try to lay off because it is low key, like obviously it's a lot of cheese and cream. But there was a point in time where I was eating pasta at least once a week. I'll be very honest. But the other day I made the best pasta. It was so like creamy. It wasn't too heavy. It wasn't too watery. It was the perfect consistency. And like I said, I've made pasta several times before. I think I finally cracked the code. It really is putting in, you got to have the right amount, but it really is putting in the right amount of that pasta water. I'm telling you right now, if you are not saving your pasta water to put into your pasta sauce, you are fucking up, babe. And I'm gonna touch your hand when I say this. That's why your pasta doesn't have good reheat value. I'm telling you this right now. As a friend, I'm telling you this right now because I know you love pasta as much as I do. The reason it's never good when you reheat it up is it's dry. You're drying it out. So that's been really fun for me. I'm just loving cooking so much. Like I am about to make a fried rice to take with me when I have to stay on campus. And this is the first time, like, I'm taking it seriously. I made the rice the day before. I got my green onions. I've never made fried rice with green onions, y'all. I'm so flipping excited. Cooking, like, especially like when you cook things new, it just feels like a new adventure. Like, you just get such an adrenaline rush from it. I love it. I just love it. So excited. Okay, so not even really recently, but I just remembered this video. It kind of brought up this whole topic, but a little while ago, one of my cousins sent me a video of myself at my cousin's wedding, and I had to be like 3 or 4 in this video. Actually, I'm gonna insert it in the video. So you can watch it. I think, and so when she sent me that video, I was literally flabbergasted. Now, I've seen baby pictures of myself before. I have a few hung up in my apartment, like ones that I have with my mom and stuff. I've seen baby pictures of myself many and plenty of times before. But there was something so, I can't think of the only word I can think of is jarring. There was something so jarring about seeing myself so young. Like, I couldn't fathom. Like, it's one thing to see a picture of yourself, right? A picture is a stagnant moment. It is a 2D version of yourself that you just like, oh yeah, like that's me. That's a picture of me. seeing a video and hearing my voice, because I think that's really the thing that creates like this like distance between you and your younger self, is hearing how you sound. And just like hearing that, like my voice isn't deep now, but like I have the voice of an adult woman, and hearing the voice come out of that child that is allegedly me is it's unreal. Like, so the first time she sent it to me, I remember crying because it was just like I said, a picture is a picture, right? But a video reminds you that this moment was a tangible memory. Like, there's video evidence. I can't explain it. It was just so unreal. And so I've recently been thinking about nostalgia a lot. I've been looking up these like nostalgia core videos on TikTok, sometimes just to feel something, sometimes just to feel something in my heart. And oh my gosh, sometimes they're just things like, they just bring up so many emotions, right? And I screenshotted pictures from one earlier. This was insane. So like this first one, oh God, these little, that's the thing, is like when I see these pictures, even though like these are just pictures and they're not videos, it's almost like a sensory thing. I can smell what they smelled like. I remember, oh God, this is what Celine Dion was singing about, because it is all coming back to me. And you know I'm about to sing, it's all coming back to, wait, there were nights when the wind was so cold. I don't know the words. In a body, right outside the, wait, no, it's something for it. Wait, forever. There were hours that just went on for days. Look, I'm eating. I don't know the words though. I'm looking at these wooden block toys and I'm remembering. I remember playing with them. Like it's painful. Like it is a painful memory of, like, you're trying to describe what it was like to interact with these toys. Oh my God, when you would open a textbook and see all the names who have signed it, like who have signed the book before you. First, side note, do y'all remember that like moment in time where teachers would make us buy book covers? You know, like the like nylon stretchy book covers? They didn't exist before. Like there wasn't a need for them before. And I'm almost so sure now the kids aren't buying book covers. Now that's overconsumption on the teachers' parts. Like literally, I want you to run me back my money that I spent on those. Don't even know where any of those have gone now. Couldn't even tell you. But like, that is like, think about the companies that were like, oh yeah, we're on the come up now because this is something that teachers want from us. And now they're gone bankrupt because that's just not a thing people need anymore. I feel like there's some other ones I want to look up. I'm going to look up nostalgia core. Even though, and it's even sometimes just the audios that like these TikToks use, like it makes me want to cry. Listen. Wait, no, this just feels creepy actually. I'm going to find one. Does this not make you like just... Let me just be quiet so you can hear it. Just like close your eyes and think about when you were younger, and this is like the music I hear when I have these memories. It just makes me feel like this song makes me feel alone. In like a bad way. Like it's very melancholy. I don't know. It just makes me feel all of these emotions. Like the idea of nostalgia makes me so sad. And I feel like I had this moment the other day. I was talking to one of my friends. We were talking about One Direction. And I was just saying how like, it's so strange to me that all of these core memories that we as One Direction fans have that are so tangible. Like, we have these things that felt so real at the time that it happened that now just feel like distant memories. And to me, it's so strange that there are so many things in our lives that go this way. And that's just what life is. And like it makes my heart break for like parents and like grandparents and just like older relatives that, you know, we grew up around. And I'm like, how, like when I think about my mom, which obviously nostalgia hits for many different reasons when it comes to like my mom and stuff. For those of you who don't know, my mom did pass away October 2022, not the day. My mom did pass away in October of 2022. So nostalgia has like a whole different layer when it comes to it. But like even aside from that, what I just think about, like, I think for me, it would be so crazy for me to have these feelings that I'm like, there's so many things, like, I just can't imagine my mother, right? Like, she grew up with certain types of music, certain types of fashion choices, and then to see her children listen to that kind of music and like vibe with it as if it's like the newest thing coming out. Like there are so many songs from the 90s and the 80s that I would like play when I was with her in the car and we're going to run errands and I'm like, oh girl, this is my shit. And she was like, oh, what you know about this? And like, yes, that's funny, but it's also kind of like, I can't imagine like 10 years from now, if I have a kid and we're in the car and we're driving in this universe, I actually drive. But I'm driving and they're like, oh my God, I discovered this old song. Do you remember when you were growing up? And they turn around and play Locked Out of Heaven by Bruno Mars. Hopefully, if I'm mentally stable enough, I'll be like, oh my God, what you know about this? If I'm not mentally stable, I'm going to stop the car and I'm going to cry. Because Locked Out of Heaven, even now, it's almost like a faded memory. Like, Bruno Mars still performs it a lot. It's a great song. But, like, he's not, like, Bruno Mars doesn't even dress like that anymore. Like, it's just so crazy to me, the idea, like, things are constantly changing. The universe is constantly expanding. Things are so new. And the things that were new yesterday are becoming old. Like, it's such an unnerving feeling sometimes. It feels both exciting, but also very terrifying, right? Now, let me tell you this. The reason I'm speaking like this is because I finally saw a little film called Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. My boyfriend and his sister were here. She was doing my hair. They were like, have you ever seen this movie? I said, no. Is it scary? And they were like, no. I think she can handle it. I'm like, oh God, I'm afraid. I went into this movie not knowing anything about what's it about. People have recommended to me so many times, and I'm like, oh, well, what's it about? And they never really tell me, but having seen it now, I understand why. Like, you can't really tell what the movie's about. Like, it's hard to really describe what it's about, but it's something I feel like everybody needs to see, especially if you are someone who is constantly like having these thoughts of understanding time and understanding what we're supposed to do with it. And, you know, if you're always thinking about like, you know, what if when I woke up today, I stepped with my right foot instead of my left foot? Like, would that change my entire day? I think this is the kind of movie you want to see. So I was kind of like up last night because I literally just saw this movie yesterday, and I was up thinking about the intersection between nostalgia and this movie, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. I wrote down some notes. We're going to talk about it. I think the movie, it definitely like explores and it goes into the depths of ideas of like time, alternate realities, how choices that we make, whether they're big choices or small choices, how that can affect the reality that we're currently living in. Why is it so dark in here? Are my lights not up 100%? There were hours that just went on for days. It's all coming back. It's all coming back. It's all coming back to me now. My lights weren't all the way up. There were moments of gold and there were flashes of light. There were things we'd never do again, but then they'd always seem right. It was nights of endless pleasure. It was more than any love's allowed. Baby, baby, baby. Now that was terrible. That first part wasn't too bad, but it, progressively got worse. Are my lights up? Okay, yeah. It just looked really dark in here. Maybe it wasn't that bad. What was I saying? Yes. Everything Everywhere All at Once explores themes of like time, and it's mainly time and the decisions that we make within the time that we have. I don't want to spoil too much. If for some reason I'm actually not the last person on the earth to see it and you also haven't seen it, I 10 out of 10 recommend it, but it explores those kind of concepts. And it does it in a way that like it hits you while you're watching it, and you will have several moments of like, wait, do I actually know what's going on in this movie? But in the end, it all makes sense, I promise. It is just it's a really beautiful movie. And I can see now why during award season it did as well as it did, because it was very phenomenal. So the first, one of the themes that it kind of focuses on, one of the themes that I noted that it kind of focuses on is regret and lost opportunities. And if that's not nostalgia, I don't know what is. No, but nostalgia can be very happy. And it can be like, oh my God, I remember this Oshkosh Bagosh shirt that I had. Like now I'm thinking about like my own life, but like nostalgia can be you remembering a certain outfit you wore as a kid. And you love that outfit so much. Like I'm thinking about like, I don't necessarily know if I love it or I loved it as much, but I remember my mom like being like gagged over this Oshkosh Bagosh shirt that I used to have, and like this just regular jeans and like a jacket outfit. And for some reason I remember like when I was younger, her being like, oh girl, this outfit eats. And so me being excited to wear that outfit any other time. Nostalgia can feel like that, but nostalgia can also feel like regret. And you can think about like, oh, I'm trying to think of any moments that I regret, which, you know, every day has a little bit of everything in it. But nostalgia can look like that, and nostalgia can look like what if moments, and not necessarily what if, my camera's gonna die, I gotta change my battery. Okay, yeah. So for some of us, nostalgia can be like these very positive things, or not even for some of us. At some points, nostalgia is very happy memories that just make you happy that you existed in that time, right? But then other times I feel like nostalgia can feel so heavy like regret. And in the movie, God, I don't even know how much, I don't know if I would be spoiling it by saying this. Wait, should I look at a preview first before I talk about it? No, I think I can talk about it in a way that doesn't spoil it. But in the movie, the main character, she's kind of confronted with different moments in her life where she makes pivotal decisions that change the outcome of her life. And some of it, and there's a moment where she can look back on certain points of her life and be really happy with what has happened in her life. But then in that same moment, she can also look back at certain points of her life, these same points, depending on how you look at them. And she has a moment of like, she's grieving what never became. And I think that that's how I feel about nostalgia sometimes, is that like, I can look back on these tangible memories of being in elementary school, and like, there's something particularly nostalgic about like elementary school, I think. Everything was just so like simple and pure. Middle school is when things start to get complicated for no fucking reason. But these memories of something that feels very tangible and like something that feels very like sensory to me is, I remember in elementary school, there was like this really big rainstorm, and for some reason they took everybody out the classrooms and they put them in the gym. Maybe it was like a tornado warning or something. And I just remember all of us kids were in our raincoats. It's hot and humid. And to us, like, we're just like, oh my God, like school is over and all of us are hanging out in the gym. How fun is this? But like, I feel like to the adults, they're probably like, oh my God, it's fucking hot in this gym. And these parents, we sent out the emergency warning. These parents need to come get their kids. I don't know. Like, there's something about that moment that feels so tangible. And I look back on that moment happily, right? And maybe there's nothing inherently sad about that moment, but something about that moment makes me sad. Like, I could actually cry thinking about it. And I think it's just like, I'm not maybe in the way that the protagonist of this movie is, but I am grieving the loss of that, like, that simplistic and that innocence. Like, the idea of just like during a literal tornado warning, I can imagine me and all my friends sitting in the gym with our coats on, with our book bags, and we're probably like running around the gym being like, oh my God, do you see him over there? Oh my God, he's so cute. That's my crush. Like, we're playing little hand games or stuff, or we're like playing with the gym toys. But I'm grieving that now because, like, I don't live near any of my friends. I don't have any gym toys to play with. Well, actually, you know what? I do have a yoga mat over there that has not been used probably since I bought it. But that's another story for another day. But I don't know. I just think ultimately nostalgia, while it can be happy, and while for the most part it is happy, it does bring up these feelings of like, it brings up feelings of sadness over choices that maybe you didn't make. Maybe the sitting in the gym during a tornado warning wasn't like the best choice, but like, I don't know, but like, I definitely do think there's like a connection there between this movie, when this character is looking back on her life and thinking about the choices that she didn't make, and nostalgia in moments where maybe the choices we didn't make are the friends we made along the way. No, but I think the choices we didn't make in terms of like, maybe not sitting in that moment long enough, which obviously as a kid, you don't know, like, oh my God, like, instead of running around in this gym with my friends of our elementary school gym, maybe I should take a moment and really like take this moment in, because I won't ever do this again. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I think more so it's about like grieving the idea, grieving the moment that you were not present enough in. That's so fake deep, but I know what I'm saying. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. I think another theme the movie really does well at talking about is connection and like subsequently disconnection. In the movie, the protagonist, I think not only does she feel disconnected from herself at times, which is why she is so like immersed in some of these other realities of herself, but I think that the characters in the movies themselves also feel disconnected. Now that part I won't explore, because seeing how each of the characters' disconnection relates back to the main character I thought was so good. I was on the verge of tears, but because I was getting my hair done at the time, I did have to hold it back. But if I was watching a movie by myself, the Kleenex would have been attached to the hip at that point. Like, I was on the verge of being an emotional wreck. But I think it's really all about, and I think, because it's not just obviously the main character that gets to experience her, or it's not only the main character that exists in all these alternate universes. In all the alternate universes, she also is interacting with people that are in her life currently at the moment. And to see how she either feels connected or disconnected to them throughout the film is like really, it's really something to see. And I just think the actors in it themselves, like the way they're able, like they're playing the same characters, but like they're not playing the same characters. Like all of the universes, it feels like I'm watching a different character from like universe to universe. And I just think it's so beautifully done. But relating that back to nostalgia for me, it goes back into the idea of how you can feel so disconnected from that person, from the person you see in the baby pictures, from the person you see in the wedding video when you were like 3 or 4, however old you were, from the person you were in the gym when you were, waiting out the tornado warning, from the person you were in middle school when you were in theater club practice. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just a moment that feels so disconnected. And I think that that's why that video that I showed you guys, that's why it felt so disconnected for me, because I felt there's something about a video. There's just something about seeing your younger self that if you're like really trying to like put yourself in that moment, you only feel like an observer in. Like when I saw that video, I'm not like seeing it from the POV of like that little girl holding the microphone saying, "Oh, congratulations to my, cousin Tammy and cousin Dwayne," or whatever. I'm watching it from an observer lens. So I'm but that's how nostalgia works, right? Like you are never putting yourself back in the position of who you were. All nostalgia memories, at least the ones that are like super far off. Obviously, if I have nostalgia from like St. Patty's Day earlier this year when I was like out with my friends and my boyfriend and we're like all, drinking, having a good time, that is a moment that's very tangible to me because that was very recent. But when I think about that memory, maybe even 5 years from now, I'm going to look at it from an observer point of view. I'm going to look at it from a moment, from like a disconnected stance, and I'm not going to feel connected to that person anymore. That's how I feel about some college memories, honestly, even though college was not that long ago. Let's keep it cute. It wasn't that long ago. But that is how I feel about some of my college memories as well. Like I just feel so disconnected from that person. And it's not in a bad way. It really is just like a matter of fact. I feel like nostalgia can kind of do that sometimes. It can kind of emphasize how we feel distant from that person. And whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, like I feel like I've grown a lot since college, and I don't hate college Shamira. I do wish she made some better decisions, but I don't know anyone who wouldn't say that about their college selves. I wish she had a little bit more confidence. I wish she, geez, I wish so many things for college Shamira, but I think all in all, I think one of the things I wish the most is that she had more confidence in herself. And she didn't feel the need to have people's approvals to do things or just to be herself. But I think besides that, I really am still the same person as far as like my interest goes. But in that regard, I still do feel very disconnected from that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, because now where I'm sitting, I am very confident. I feel like I have to be confident to sit in my apartment alone and talk to a camera as if I'm talking to an audience. You do have to have some level of confidence for that. Oh, okay. I'm being called. I'm so popular. But yeah, I don't know. It's this. But then in some ways, I do feel connected to her. I do understand why she wasn't confident. I do understand why she felt like she needed people's approval. And in that sense, I do feel connected. Because I'm not saying I'm the most confident person in the world. And I'm not saying that I walk around here thinking my shit don't stink. I know you like to think your shit don't stink. But think a little longer, see that roses really smell like ooh, ooh, ooh. Good song. Caroline. Okay, sorry. It's this idea of connection and disconnection. I feel very connected to these memories because they are so core to who I am, and they're core to like how I feel. Not even just like how I feel, but like these memories, the memories that I have of staying up till 1, 2 p.m. and watching like One Direction do like these Twitter live stream things. That is so core to who I am in my being. But in that same regard, I feel so distant from that girl. And it's such a strange feeling. And that's why nostalgia makes me want to cry. I think, oh, fuck. Oh, man. Okay. Thank God. I can't believe I didn't realize my mic wasn't on. Okay. We're good now. We're good. Sorry about that funky audio piece. I think one of the other things that really stuck out to me, obviously the movie is very much about existence and what we do with the time that we have here. God, when you there's this very pivotal scene that involves rocks in that movie. I won't spoil it because it was just such a beautiful scene. I thought it was just like so well done, and it was so quiet. And I can't imagine seeing that in theaters. I feel like that just had to be a moment where like everybody in the theater was like feeling the exact same thing. It was just so beautiful. In the movie though, the protagonist, Evelyn, I don't think I've said her name yet, but her name is Evelyn. She is coming to terms with what life is, right? Because even though she got to experience all these different realities, ultimately you do have to stay within your own reality. I mean, that's what we learned from time travel movies. That's what we learned from all these like sci-fi movies, that you have to stick to your time, right? And I don't want to say the big aha moment of the movie, but I think that in general, all of these movies that we see about time travel, about alternate universes, depending on like what the theme or like what the motif is that, you know, you just have to like, everything that is happening in your universe is happening for a reason, and it's supposed to make you a more complete person. It's supposed to make you a more whole person. And I think it wants you to be like very grounded and very present in your moment, and to never, or to not like linger on what another life would have been had you made a different decision. And I feel like nostalgia, when it does make one sad, nostalgia is constantly yearning for the past, or it's constantly wishing you made a different decision to end up in a different situation that you are in currently. And I do think with nostalgia, when you are so kind of wrapped up in what was, when you are, wait, what is the Kamala Harris quote? Hold on. When you're actually burdened by what has been and also what is yet to come, you never really get a chance to like be present in the moment. But that's why I don't really like to indulge in nostalgia too much, because then I feel like it takes me out of like what I'm presently feeling, and nostalgia brings up moments of like existentialism for me as well, because it's like, it literally is like one moment you are in high school and you just heard What Makes You Beautiful for the first time, and you're like, oh my god, who is this boy band where they're all like very attracted what's going on. And now you're an adult and all the members of One Direction are literally old as fuck. Louis has gray hair. Gray hair, bitch. And I'm like, you look like you grew up with them. Like, I think obviously One Direction's like older than me. Like, the members of the group are older than me. But I'm also kind of like, oh my God, like, I grew up with you guys. I'm literally watching you guys age. Like, this is crazy to me. This is crazy to me. But I think that's another, like, sad thing about nostalgia. I feel like is if you are constantly spending time reflecting on the past and reflecting on how fleeting things are, you never really can find what your meaning is in this present moment. And I don't necessarily think life is about finding your meaning. I don't know if life is about like reaching your ultimate purpose, right? But I do think there is something to be said about just enjoying the moments that you have in time with you. And sometimes the moments that you have are learning how to make fried rice for the first time. Maybe it's walking a new route home and you stop by a vendor who's selling plants and you buy this lovely little plant right here that is doing so well, despite you not having a good track record of keeping up with plants. Isn't she gorgeous? Look at how upright everything is. Like, I'm so proud of myself. I need to stop rocking. I feel like I'm being very, like, not gentle. But, and it even has, like, little tinges of pink on the leaves. Wait, let me show you. Hold on. Look. You see? Look, wait, this one. Isn't that so cute? But, yeah. And none of those things lead to a grand purpose. But they're just things that help keep us grounded in the here and the now. And I just think, despite how sad nostalgia makes me, I think, like, whenever I need that, like, kick in the rump to, like, stay grounded in my moment, I have to remember that in those moments that I'm now looking back with nostalgia, those were also my good times. You know, I feel like even in those moments back then that I'm now looking back on with such nostalgia, I do feel like in those moments, whether I knew it or not, I was being grounded. And that's why those moments are still so tangible to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're taking in these moments and they become these memories to you. I think nostalgia only really, like, makes me sad when it's things that, like, I completely forgot about. Like, someone tweeted the other day about, like, the Yahoo, like, dressing up your avatar thing. That shook me to my core because I completely forgot about that. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I think that's when nostalgia actually makes me sad, is when I've forgotten about things. I really think that's what it is. I just cracked the code. That's what we call a breakthrough, baby. It's when I'm forgetting about things. I will never forget about One Direction, right? For better or for worse, I'm going to always think about them. I will never forget about, I will remember you. That, you guys, that was good. That was really, really good. But there are things I will never forget about. But it's the things that I will forget about. That's what scares me sometimes. That's what makes nostalgia so hard for me to grasp. It's not what I felt like when I graduated from 5th grade, right? Because I just remember that graduation really well. But it's not what I felt like getting cookout at 2 a.m. with my college friends. It's not that feeling, but it's like, it's remembering that the Yahoo dressed my avatar thing existed, or not remembering that and being reminded of that. It's all very crazy. It's all very meta. I recommend this movie to someone. I've recommended this movie to everyone. It just, like, it blew my mind. It is, I think it's worth a rewatch too, but I got to be in the right headspace for it, honestly. I got to be in the right headspace, but yeah. Nostalgia, man. It's weird. It's freaky. And nostalgia is always happening. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's always happening. Time is slipping away from me. Okay, we'll be right back. Hello, everyone. So I just want to do a quick vibe check for where we are at this point in the podcast. I'm going to ask you a couple questions and you just answer them very honestly. Are you subscribed to the podcast on YouTube? Do you follow the podcast on Spotify and or Apple? Have you given the podcast 5 stars on Spotify and or Apple? Have you even so far liked this episode on YouTube? Babe, if the answer was no to any of those questions, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. You just have a little bit of work to do. Go ahead and do those things for me, and I'll give you a big smooch on the forehead. No, but seriously, if you do all those things for the podcast, it's letting the algorithm know that you're rocking with me, and for that, I'm forever grateful. All right, you guys, last segment of the pod. I've really been enjoying doing the Reddit questions. I don't know what it is about them. I just love them. But usually when I do them, I like go into it thinking I'm going to do like a bunch of them, right? But having to scroll for ones that I think are actually worth reading, it takes all of my energy, right? So I feel like I only end up doing 4. But this time I went through, I screenshotted some without like really reading them. So I'm hoping that these are all good ones. So without further ado, let's get into it. And I feel like usually at least a few times that I've done it before, I've tried to give like a very objective kind of meaning. But this time I'm telling you exactly how it is. I feel like I try to sugarcoat things. I try and be fair, but no more of that. I'm gonna give you my honest feedback this time. Okay, so this first one. Am I the asshole for asking my husband if we can stop having sex on our honeymoon? Okay. I am still on my honeymoon as I write this, and my husband is in bed sleeping next to me. Our ages are 23 and 28. We got married 2 weeks ago at our beautiful wedding with all of our friends and family. We dated and were engaged for 3 years before our wedding, and the entire time we never had sex because I was saving myself for marriage. My husband was open and honest that he wasn't and hadn't, but was willing to do it for our relationship, so we did. Prior to our wedding, I went to the doctor to get birth control. I've been going to women's care since I was 18, though, and I've never had them tell me anything concerning. When I went, I just told my doctor that I wanted to be on the pill. She said, okay, so I did. So on our wedding night and all of the following nights until about 2 days ago, we were sleeping together and everything would be fine except for it is excruciatingly painful. They put excruciating in italics. Penetration specifically, it's literally painstaking. It burns almost, it's like cramps in my lower tummy area and my back, and it's just horrible. After a while, it gets to be slightly better, like manageable, but it's still not good. It hurts so bad to the point where I was just crying last week. Oh, girl. My husband asked me why, and I realized it was the pain, but I also feel like it was so disappointing. So I finally said 2 days ago, I told him we have to... finally, like I said 2 days ago, I told him we have to stop. It's so painful and not fun for me anymore, and I'm worried that there is something like mechanically wrong with me. My husband was so annoyed, but I expected that. I don't really blame him, but I do feel horrible. Should I just push through it? Am I the asshole? First of all, him being annoyed, like, get over it. I was gonna say I'm sorry, but like honestly, I'm not sorry, because it's one thing, like if you are feeling painstaking, excruciating pain, then like, I don't want to say there's something medically wrong, but like that is something to like be concerned about, because if how do I say this in a way that is mindful of why I was invited to the podcast, but mindful of that I have family members on here. I'm just gonna say it because you know what? I'm an adult, so whatever. If you are having sex and you're doing all the steps beforehand to make sure that wait, I said I was going to say it, but I'm still dancing around the words. Basically, if you're doing foreplay and you're ready and revved up to go, then, like, you should be fine. But even then, sometimes, I guess, without foreplay, like, you might be okay. But, like, even to me, it sounds like maybe, like, all the steps are being done. Like, they're engaging in a little hanky-panky before the actual act. So if it is still, like, excruciatingly painful after that, then, like, clearly you need to go to the hospital, or you need to, like, go see your doctor, because like, who is that going to benefit? Like, if sex is supposed to be like good for both of y'all, but you are literally in pain to the point where you are crying, maybe let's stop. Him being annoyed irritates me, because it's one, like, I guess it would be one thing, and not really though, but it would be one thing if you were like, oh, I don't want to have sex because I'm tired, whatever. But if you say you don't want to have sex because it hurts and he gets annoyed, don't piss me off. Actually, don't piss me off. Like, you need to be a little more caring, actually. So, go to the doctor. But, maybe there's, like, other things you can do in the meantime if for some reason you still want to, like, quote unquote, push through and have sex. There's, like, there's lubrications you can use. There are products that you can use to help the area maybe become easier to enter. Yeah. So maybe try those, but also, like, if it hurts, it hurts, and you shouldn't be... Girl, that's like you asking us, like, oh, I fractured my ankle, should I still walk to the store? No, don't walk on a broken ankle. Don't have sex if In your words, excruciating, painstaking, and it feels like cramps. Next. Am I the asshole? Wife telling me happily about other men. Wife is 35 years old. Male is 39 years old. They've been married for 10 years. Multiple school-age children. Lately, my wife has had more free time as the kids have grown older, and she's definitely been putting a lot more effort into her appearance. I'm happy for her, and after staying home with our kids, she definitely deserves to put herself first for once in a while. One thing I've noticed is that when she goes out with her friends, lately she dresses up in very revealing clothes, tiny shorts, tank tops, makeup, or full makeup, etc. The last 2 times I've picked her up, she told me about the ego boost she got from all the male attention she received. The last time especially as she went to a well-known beach, we live near a big West Coast city, she proceeded to tell me about the large number of guys who stared at her or tried talking with her and how her friend reminded her that, quote, she still has it. Am I overreacting a bit by not exactly enjoying my wife telling me about all these random men hitting on her? Don't get me wrong, I'm glad she's confident and feel good about herself, but I'd almost rather not know. It's something about the tone of this that I don't like, but I can't put my finger on it exactly. This reminds me of when Ayesha Curry, she got into a lot of like hot water because she basically said was like, because I don't look conventionally attractive like all the other NBA wives, I don't get hit on as much by other people, and it does do something to her self-confidence. And Lord, the people shat on her so much. I understand what Ayesha Curry is saying. I personally, you know what's crazy though? Like for me, it's like, I get it. Like I understand what she's saying. Like attention is attention. Because it's like Ayesha Curry is probably hanging out with like other like really popular NBA wives, right? And it's the same thing as like if you were in a group of friends and friend A is always getting hit on by, friend A is always getting hit on by other guys, and friend C, people are always asking you, oh, put me on with your friend over here, and no one's paying you any attention. That's how I understand the Ayesha Curry thing. But it's so funny to me that she's like, oh, I want to be hit on by men. I really think even when I was single, men coming up to me were just like, ew, like, what do you want? Like, even sometimes if I was attracted to them, I remember, I will never forget this. Now, this is a very core memory of mine. I think it was my senior year. I was in this comms class. There was this guy that, very well, like, our school was pretty small. He was probably, like, one of the people that a lot of people would say, like, is objectively attractive. And we were in a comms class together. And I remember one day, I was just having a bad day. Like, I was so tired this day. I was not up for any of the bullshit. The second this class was done, I was going back to my room to go take a nap. So I'm leaving out the class. And I don't know if it maybe just because I didn't know it was him. But I remember he was like, hey, Shamira, can I ask you a question? The way I turned around and said, what? Which is so like, girl, like you literally like, please. Like, in any other context, this would be like your literal dream. But now the one time you're having a bad day, it's like, literally, what do you want? You dropped dead gorgeous Adonis. Like, what do you want? Leave me alone. Get out of my face. Why did I bring up that story? Oh, right. It's like just sometimes the idea of any man talking to you is like, ew. So, like, I was talking about the Ayesha Curry thing. So, to me, like, her idea of wanting to be hit on, I don't completely empathize with it, but I sympathize with her. I understand where she's coming from. I might not be able to exactly relate to it, but I understand why you want that for you. In this situation, I feel like, I don't know, like, just recently, I don't know what the fuck was happening, but I was on my way to work, and the same guy at the train station hit on me 2 days in a row. And I told my boyfriend about it because I'm like, the fucking nerve of this guy. I guess it really all depends on, like, her tone, right? Like, it's her tone of it. So when I was telling my boyfriend, I was like, you would not believe this fuck ass shit that just happened to me. This guy said this, that, and the third. He said he was, like, willing to fight for me, ... Ew. Because I was, like, appalled by it. He also was like, y'all, he was like, oh, I just don't want you to see me on BET and feel like you blocked your blessings. Get the fuck away from me. I will pepper spray and taser you. Like, get away from me. Ew, right? Because even regardless of that, if I turn on BET tomorrow and I say that he blew up, congratulations to him, but ew. The fact that you said that to me is disgusting. So I guess it depends how your wife is telling you about these things. If she's telling you in a way that she wants to make you jealous, then like that's not cool. If she's telling you in a way to be like, oh my God, like I would not believe the nerve of this guy to hit on me. Like it was just so crazy. It's a funny story. I want to tell this to you, right? But if she's telling you in a way, now let's look at what could be the alternate reality of this. If she's telling you this in a way that's to be like, hey, just so you know, I'm getting hit on a lot out here and I'm not really feeling that here. I'm not really feeling that in our relationship, but I want you to know when I step outside of this relationship, I'm kind of getting that attention that I want. Maybe that's something that you should be aware of. We have to look at all sides of the situation, right? So in my mind, there's 3 sides to the story, right? She's telling you this as like a little joke, like it's like, oh my God, you wouldn't believe this crazy story. She's telling you this, wait, now I forgot what the first reason was. She's telling you to make you jealous, right? She wants you to feel small. Or she's telling you this to be like, hey, just so you know, I'm not really getting a lot of attention from you like I used to. And just so you know, to quote Beyonce, I can find another you in a minute. Matter of fact, he'll be here in a minute. Baby, you must not know about me. You must not know about me. Like, if she's really telling you like that, you need to clean it up, sir. You need to get it together. What's your username? Hold on. Let me see. Mr. Big Sky 778. Get it together. But I mean, as always, I feel like with all relationship stuff, I always say that like communication is key. Maybe instead of telling Reddit that it annoys you, tell her first. But no, tell her, be like, hey, I think this kind of makes me a little bit uncomfortable when you tell me this. I'm happy that you're doing you, boo. I'm happy that you are living in your truth and you are showing people that you're that bitch. But maybe don't tell me how much of that bitch you are. Have you tried that, Big Sky? Next. Am I the asshole for not attending my friend's pre-wedding party because I can't afford the gift? I'm feeling conflicted and could use some advice. My friend, quote unquote, Jenny, is having a quote unquote pre-wedding party next month, which she's calling a celebration of the journey leading up to her big day. It's essentially a pre-wedding bash where guests are expected to bring a gift. The problem is I'm currently tight on money and can't afford to buy a gift that matches the level of which she expected. I told Jenny that I would come, but I might not be able to bring a gift. She was visibly disappointed and mentioned that it's important for her to have her guests bring something meaningful. All right, Jenny. All right, bitch. Okay, hold on. Let me keep reading. I really want to support her, but I'm struggling financially right now. I suggested that maybe I could help with the party preparations instead, but she insists that a gift is non-negotiable. Am I the asshole for considering not attending because I can't afford the gift? I feel stuck between wanting to be there for my friend and dealing with your financial situation. Okay. What's your username? Velvet Aura 09. You can tell Jenny to hit the bricks as a friend. Tell her you're not coming to that fuck-ass wedding anyway. There was this content creator that I really like on TikTok. I think her name is like Chelsea Fagan or something, but she does a lot of discourse about like how to be a good host, but like also how friendship culture is being changed by like consumerism and things like that. You have to be such a fucking terrible person to, sorry, I feel like I'm shitting on this person, but like the idea, it's one thing. Okay, hold on. Let me scale it back. Having this a pre-wedding party, calling it a celebration of the journey. Just say it's a bridal shower, first of all. Just say it's a bridal shower. But also, I feel like when you are having a wedding, and obviously like you're spending a lot of money on the wedding itself, as like the groom and the bride and or the family of the groom and the bride, but you also have to think about how much money it is for a certain guest to get there. Like weddings are never just like, oh, you can hop on the bus and be there. Like people have weddings like at these crazy ass venues, which like, yes, sure, you should have the wedding of your dreams. I feel like it's so crazy to like require your friends to bring a gift. Like Jenny, do you know how expensive things are nowadays? You can get a few items from the grocery store and it's almost $75. Like let's not be this person that requires people to spend extra money on you. Like, and obviously I know with a wedding, like if two people are getting married, they are paying for you to be there, right? Like if you invite someone to a wedding and they accept it, they are now counting you in, the number of chairs they need for the ceremony. They're counting you in the food that they need for catering, and they're accounting for your attendance maybe in relation to the open bar they may or may not have. So like just as much money as a guest is paying to go to a wedding, like just know there's a lot of money put into you going to that wedding. With that being said, the wedding is already one commitment. I think having this celebration journey, kind of like this celebration of the journey party, and you're requiring people to bring a gift, especially because it seems like this person is saying that not only does their friend want a gift, but they want like a gift of a certain stature. You are a terrible person. Why is it, there's something about weddings I feel like that brings out sometimes the worst in people, and I imagine it has to do with like the stress of like getting everything together, because you're not only just getting all your family together, and you're not only just getting all your friends together, you're getting family and friends together. I totally understand it. With that being said, a gift for a celebration of the journey party, girl, fuck you and that gift and that party and that wedding. How about that? Like, that is just so asinine to me. I could not imagine. I just like, and I would not even that, like, because I can't say, if you are having a party for something, like if you're having a party that's related to your wedding, it's kind of quote unquote understood that people are going to bring you gifts because they're like, oh my God, this big thing is happening to you. What do you need? I would even say more so that even applies more to having a baby. I feel like people are less inclined to give gifts to couples, and they're more inclined to give gifts to people who are having a baby versus a wedding. That's my thinking. I could be wrong with that though. But like, I don't know, like if I, like, let's say when I had like if I had a housewarming party, if I'm inviting you to this party, I might expect you to bring something. But if you don't come with anything, I'm not going to be upset because I know how expensive it is. That's why I'm having a housewarming party where people bring me stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the idea, the connection between consumerism and friendships has really gotten out of control. Like, there's so many discourse. There's so much discourse on TikTok and on Twitter about like, oh, if my friend doesn't come to my birthday trip that's in Jamaica for a week, like she's cut off because you're not a real friend. Who has the time and the money to take off a week for someone's birthday? Like, I'm sorry. Like, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. A whole week, like maybe an extended weekend is fine. An extended weekend, because let's say you leave on Thursday. You leave Thursday night after work, right? And then you take off the Monday, you come back, right? So that's, you get there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, it is only 3 days you're staying there, but like, I just like people equating quality of friendship to how much someone is willing to spend on you is insane. If your friendship is based on money or things like that, that's terrible. Now, there are some instances that like can kind of be, there are some instances that create like nuance and context to this conversation. Like, I was just talking to one of my coworkers, and she told me that like she went on a birthday trip, I think with some of her friends. It was her birthday trip, and one of the girls came with no money at all and then asked the birthday girl for money, which like, girl, have some class, have some tact. Like, that to me is crazy. But there's all like the idea that you would go out with no money is crazy, which leads me back to this original post. If you don't have the money to do something, someone can be upset all they want, but like if you don't have the money, you don't have the money. Like, do not break the bank to bring me a gift to this made up ass party. Like, I don't like bad friends. I don't like bad friends. I don't know if I'm a good friend or not, but I know I'm not this bad of a friend. So, What the fuck is a pre-wedding, like a pre-wedding party? Like, you maybe have a party when you get engaged, an engagement party, right? People have engagement parties, and then you might have like a bridal shower. But even then, I feel like that's a lot, because in my ideal world, right? Let's say I was getting married. Let's say I was getting engaged to you tomorrow, right? Who knows? No, it's not happening tomorrow. But let's say like you have an engagement party, right? So I feel like depending on how the engagement goes, let's say we do like a private engagement, right? We let everyone know, and then there's like an engagement party. At that party, I would expect no gifts, right? It's just people coming, saying congratulations, right? We're having drinks. Maybe somebody throws something on the little griller, keep it cute, keep it nice, keep it very demure, very cutesy, right? Now we have the bridal shower. I don't really know if I would have one of those, because I kind of feel like you already expect people to bring gifts to the wedding, so why am I having a bridal shower as well? But if I was going to have one, that's when maybe you expect people to quote unquote shower you with gifts. But then again, I don't think I would have one, because it's just like, it's another thing. And you know what? I can even say this, as much as I love, I love attention and all that stuff, and I love parties. It's only so many events I can do with so many people. Like, and being the center of attention the entire time, like, that's intense. It can be a lot, even if you do love attention. I would personally skip the bridal shower, but if I were to have one, that would be a moment where people could give gifts. But I would honestly just tell people, save the gifts for the wedding. Or do either or. Honestly, do either or. Like, you're going to give me your gift at the bridal shower, or you're going to save it for the wedding. But I would honestly just say save it for the wedding. And then you have the bachelorette party. That's another thing you're expecting people to spend money on. And a bachelorette party, it's the chance for the bridal party to, like, to make you feel special, right? I totally get that. But sometimes they can be crazy. They can be a lot. And then you have that, and then you have the actual wedding. It's just too many steps. Okay, next. Am I the asshole for breaking up with my girlfriend because she refuses to do things that she did with her exes? Oh, brother. Okay. All right, let's see. 25 male, 27-year-old female, 2 years of relationship. My first relationship, while she had many partners before. Now, let's watch that language, but okay. According to what I heard from her friend, she used to be freaky in the past, even the relationship before me. But with me, it's vanilla. It's only 3 positions with no extra. Oh, I have some things to say, but I'm going to keep reading. What I want is not even extreme. Oh, okay. It just caught me off guard that he actually wrote it out. The way I just covered my eyes. We're all adults here. I can read it out loud. What I want isn't even extreme like anal. Sorry. I wanted soft BD. Can I read? I just want soft BDSM both ways. Costume plays, role play, a bit harder intimacy, and toy play. I'm going to be honest. That's a little much. I'm just going to keep it a bean with you. A vanilla bean, if you will. You asking for a little too much, Playboy. But okay, let's keep going. I thought everything would get better with time, but now that we're closing in on the serious part of our relationship with marriage talks, I wanted out. Oh, wow. Okay, you want out. She refuses doing all these things with me while she did the most extreme things in her past. Plus, she is not open to explore any kind of new things with me. She told me that she changed and she is content with everything. To be honest, it feels like she's settling for me. She's nice, kind, and attentive, but I want more. I respected her answer and broke up with her without forcing her to do anything or give ultimatums. Oh, fucking congratulations. You broke up with her without forcing her or giving her any ultimatums. Oh, congratulations. She's trying to convince me to stay in the relationship and she'll do anything with me, but I don't think it's genuine. She would not do these things. Wait, can I read? She would do these things only to keep me in the relationship, not because she wanted. I want someone that'll barely keep their hands off me. Almost all the relationships around me are like that, and ours is just boring. I'm going to go back to one of these sentences really quick. Let me see here. She would do these things only to keep me in the relationship, not because she wanted to. Yes, that's the point, is that she doesn't want to do these things, but if you are going to leave her, then obviously she will do them. Like, okay. Let's go back here. I feel like, okay, so I have a theory based on my own personal experience, but just also based on things that I've heard. I feel like when you get comfortable with someone, I think it's one thing to, like, try something new, but I think it's another thing to do things that you're not comfortable with. And I think that just because you heard, like, this person, what is it? Much Builder 1562. They said that they've heard from her friends that she used to be freaky. She said that she's changed and she's content with everything. To me, what that's giving is her being content now, like her being happy with her life, means, like, to me, I could be reaching, but it's in my grasp, so I'm going to say it. To me, what it's giving, so, she's saying, her friends are saying she used to be freaky. She's saying that she's content now. To me, maybe it's giving that even though she was doing those things, she just might not have been happy with the partner she was doing it with. With you, she feels comfortable and confident enough to not have to do these things that make her uncomfortable because she feels like you actually value her as a person. And it doesn't seem like you do. It seems like you want her to do these things that she's not comfortable with. Have you actually talked to her about it? Are you trying to, how are you trying to introduce these elements into you guys' sexual relationship? Are you just one day y'all are doing it and the next minute you're trying to slap her? That's not going to work. Unfortunately for you as a man, sometimes men are going to have to learn that sex is something that has to be talked about. You know what the problem is? And I'm going to tell you this right now. Y'all watch too much porn. That's really what it is. Because sex is a conversation. Sex is literally a dialogue you're having with your partner. And maybe it's not a sit down, let's take out our notebooks and like jot down some things about each other, but it is a verbal and a non-verbal conversation you're having with someone. You have to be attentive to what that person wants and needs in that moment in time. But you also have to be open to that, you know, that pillow talk afterwards. It's like, oh, hey, you did this thing and I didn't like that. Don't do that ever the fuck again. Or, hey, that thing was fun. Maybe we try doing it this way instead. I think that could work better for both of us. But to me, it just kind of seems like you want her to go 0 to 100. That's not what she wants to do. It's really, honestly, this last sentence of like, she would do these things to keep me around in the relationship. Can I read? She would do these things to keep me around in the relationship, but not because she wanted to. Exactly. She doesn't want to do these things regardless. Like, ugh. I just feel like you don't respect her from the beginning. I really don't feel like you respect her from the beginning. And also, why does it matter what she did with her exes? That's your problem. I feel like you're feeling insecure in yourself. That's like you're projecting your insecurities onto her. You feel like because she's not doing X, Y, and Z that means she doesn't like you or that means she doesn't love you. That's your problem. And if you're not having the conversations necessary for it, then like you're not prepared to be in a long-term relationship. Oh man, I screenshotted this, but I left out the title, so let's just read it. So at the top it says, we've been dating for about a week and a half. Girl, what the fuck? Okay, so for context, I'm a 25-year-old female and he's a 26-year-old male. We met on Tinder and hit off immediately. Our first date, he took me to the local aquarium, which is very nice, but he was very hands-on the entire time. And he wanted to make out with me basically the entire time. On a first date, that don't fly with me. Like, I'm just trying to enjoy the aquarium and get to know the guy. Also, like, at the aquarium, move. I'm trying to look at the fish. Move. I told him you need to chill out. I'm here to see the aquarium and get to know him. After I told him that, he was very respectful and was totally chill about it. But as we progressed with our dates, because he wanted to go out almost every single day, and on our first day, he was talking about how he wants to get married. The flags have popped up, and they're not simply just red. These are crimson flags popping up. But okay, let's keep reading. Let me see. He was talking about how he wants to get married, and do I know what kind of wedding I would like, and kept referring to me as his future wife. Ew, disgusting, gut-wrenching, nauseating, all the above. I told him that we've only been going out for a week, and you're already starting to say these kind of things, and it's putting me in an awkward situation. It's making me very uncomfortable. In addition, he referred to me when he introduced me to his friends as his girlfriend. He didn't sit me down and tell me, hey, this is how I feel. I really like you. Would you like to get to know me better? Would you want to make our relationship official? He's extremely enthusiastic and energetic, like on 100 all the time, which is something that's a bit much for me. He has a great sense of humor. He's very respectful. He's sweet as a... Wait, can I read? He's very gentle. He's very much a gentleman, but at the same time, his behavior indicates to me that he's super needy and that he says he misses me all the time, and then he can't wait to hang out with me like every day. The world revolves around me pretty much, which is putting me in this very uncomfortable situation. Like, if any of the previous reasons or indication, this guy gives golden retriever energy, but in a very needy way. Am I the asshole for having a talk with him regarding the fact that he's pushing things way too fast and it's making me uncomfortable? I feel sometimes that he is love bombing me. He buys me all these gifts, behaving a gentleman at the same time, and it puts me in a very uncomfortable situation. I'm assuming that you're asking if you're the asshole for pushing him away. No, this is like too much too fast. First of all, my rule, so when you are looking to become official with someone, for me personally, this is how I approach dating when I was like, okay, I want to be serious. I'm looking for a life partner. No physical contact except for a hug when we first greeted each other, but probably more so when we were like going our separate ways for the evening. No contact. So the fact that you want to make out on the first date is like intense. Even if y'all were having good conversation before then, it's just like making out on the first date is like, y'all don't really know each other like that. That's like a little much for me, at least. That's just my opinion though. You did, but I think, so you put out a boundary out there on the first date despite him trying to constantly like make really, I don't want to say aggressive, but like make these really forward moves. Like a kiss is just a kiss, but like a kiss on the first date when you all don't know each other, it's kind of like, okay, back up now. Like, yeah, it's just a little much. It's like a little too interpersonal. It's like a little too personal for me, right? It's just doing too much. Like, calm down. I think talking about the wedding, it's all just giving moving too fast. I think even if you are like excited to talk about these things, like I think even before me and my boyfriend hit a year, I think I talked about like we would always ask I would always ask him questions of like, what would your ideal wedding look like? But I say like, oh, like not with me, but like just in general, like what are things you want at your ideal wedding? Because I like to hear about the creative process or like what small details people want in their weddings. But that's like how I get to know people. But like him calling you his future wife and just all the stuff is a little much. Also, I feel like you met his friends kind of fast. If y'all have only been dating for a week and a half and you already met his friends, like it's moving way too fast for me. Like you absolutely need to tell him that he needs to pump the brakes, slow down. It's just not that serious. Like, yes, it is that serious because it's relationships and it's love, but like it's not that serious because it's just not that serious. Calm down a little bit. Am I the asshole for telling my partner that I do not need to lose weight? I, 24-year-old female, got sat down today by my boyfriend, 27-year-old male, who said to me that I look morbidly obese and need to change how I look immediately or he is going to leave me. And to that I say, don't let the door hit you on your fucking way out, bitch. But okay, I'll keep reading. Let's see. For a little bit of background about my past, I have suffered from multiple eating disorders. Oh, he's going to hell. Oh, he's going absolutely to hell immediately with a gasoline jumpsuit on. To hell. For example, when I was 15 and 5'2", I weighed in at about 76 pounds and it still thought I was fat regardless of my ribcage being extremely visible. Wow. That's intense. Currently, I am 5'6" and weigh about 115 and is extremely active. After he told me that I'm obese, I couldn't do anything but cry. I screamed at him and said he was no longer welcome in my home. And that wait, can I read? I received nonstop calls from him and his mother cussing me out and telling me I overreacted and that it's just him being honest. Let me see. Of course, Jules, that's your username. This man and apparently his mother can go right to hell. Like, there's so much obvious things about the situation that doesn't make you the asshole. Like, at this point, you just need to stay protected from him, because someone that would tell someone what you've been through to lose weight clearly has no remorse or has no like emotional empathy or even just like general awareness. So I would just say make sure you stay protected from him and his fucking family, because clearly they're crazy and stupid. Oh, he can burn in hell quickly, immediately. Okay. Am I the asshole for slightly yelling at my friend's wife and her kids for getting soda with their water cups? Ew, you fucking narc. Ew. Last night, I took my friends and their kids out to a pizza place after a fun day at the beach and paid for the whole meal. While standing in line ordering all of our food, my girlfriend told the cashier, 8 water cups, please. I asked everyone if they wanted to drink something else. My friend's wife said no, 8 waters is fine. So after I pay and gave everyone their cups and my friend's wife and one of their daughters, after I gave everyone their cups, my friend's wife and one of their daughters proceeds to get soda from the fountain right in front of the cashier. The cashier didn't say anything, and when we got outside to sit down, I told them, if you wanted a damn soda, you should have asked me. I offered to pay for it, and now you're making all of us look bad. I think I probably got a little more angry than I should have, but it was absolutely ridiculous to do that when I had just asked if they wanted anything else. If they want anything else to drink and was willing to pay for it. Am I the asshole for getting upset with them? Let me know what you guys think. I just think you did too much. I feel like you did too much. I don't know. Like, I feel like if the cashier didn't say anything, then you're the only one that's thinking it makes you look bad. It'd be one thing if the cashier said like, oh, hey, you can't get soda with that. Because then you could go outside and be like, hey, that was like really embarrassing. Like, I would have paid for it if you wanted actual drinks. But like, I don't know. I just like you kind of like scolding them. I get it'd be one thing if you made a joke about it and you were like, oh, like, LOL, I could have got us all like soda cups. It's no big deal. Like, I can go back and get us soda cups. Like, right now, it's not a big deal. But for you to, like, if you wanted a damn soda, you should have asked me. I would have paid for it. Like, then why didn't you pay for it? Like, I know you asked everyone, but, like, I don't know. I just feel like you should have gotten soda cups for everyone then. If you're paying for it and it's not a big deal, then just get the soda cups from the jump then. Because then if people want water, like, yeah, it might be a waste. But here's my thing, right? So water cups are usually free. I would say pay for everyone to get soda, right? Pay for everyone to get a soda cup. And then if people want water, they can go to the front and ask for a water cup then. Like, even though, and you know what it was? Hold on, let me go back. Because it says, you said your girlfriend told the cashier 8 water cups. Oh no, you asked if everyone wanted anything to drink. I feel like the issue there, not to be nitpicky, but like I'm going to be nitpicky since you want to like scold people your own age and then people that aren't your kids. If someone is ordering for the group and someone orders ahead of me and says like, oh yeah, we'll all have this and I'm not paying, it does put that person in an uncomfortable situation to be like, oh, actually, I want this thing that you're going to pay for, instead of getting a free thing. So I feel like in reality, your girlfriend should have never said 8 water cups to everyone. Tell that bitch to no. But she shouldn't have said anything, because I feel like maybe that could have made it difficult for everyone else to want to get soda cups, because now your girlfriend, who, you know, like obviously it's assumed that y'all have combined expenses. It's assumed that y'all have combined expenses. Now your girlfriend is saying, oh, everyone is getting water cups, which is basically saying like, oh, we're getting the free drink because even though you're paying for everything, I don't want you to have to pay for something else on top of it. And also, it's just like not that deep. Like, it's not that deep. I feel like there's not a single person on this planet who has not gotten a water cup and then gotten soda with it instead of getting water. Like, it's just not that deep. So like I said, I screenshotted all of these, but everyone's saying like, oh, she's going to have trouble in a few years with children if she keeps telling them that things like this are okay. It's just not that deep. Like, we're talking like kiddie pool shallow. It's just not that deep. It's truly not that deep. Okay, this might be one of the last ones I do, but we'll see. I, 23-year-old female, deleted my boyfriend's comments. 23-year-old male, what do I do? Hi, long story short, I posted some pictures on my Instagram account. One of the photos was edited in a way that it taken my face from another photo and put it on this one because while I liked my pose while my pose looked good here, my face did not. Anyway, so as I'm posting, I told my boyfriend how I edited the picture, and he was like, oh, that's smart. This looks nice, but not really that noticeable, and so on. I post a picture. A while later, he comments something along the lines of, this one picture looked kind of out of place, almost like you edited it. All right. Okay, because now you're trying to be funny. Now you want to kiki in the comments. You want to be Mr. Chuckles a lot, right? Okay. I deleted his comment because I didn't like it. He says I shouldn't have deleted it because it was kind of an inside joke for us two, and it was kind of overall rude to delete it without telling or asking him. Now he's kind of mad at me. We've been together for more than 3 years. What do I do? I feel like there are certain things that are inside jokes, and then there's certain things that are not. And I feel like, no, I feel like you knew that was wrong. Like, because now it's not even like so much an inside joke, because when she told you about it, she wasn't joking. Like, she was saying as in, like, it was a matter of fact. I like my pose here, but my face looks better here, so I just put them together. It's nothing to kiki about. You took to the comments to try to, like, embarrass her publicly, or because now when people see that comment, now they're gonna look at the pictures and notice that she edited it. Like, no, like, it's not a joke. He has no right to be mad at you. He should have never commented that. Look at what they do for laughs. Like, you want people to laugh so much with you. You want attention so bad. Okay, you guys, that was the last one, and this is the end of the podcast. This is by far the longest raw footage I have had at 2 hours and 17 minutes. We'll see how long the podcast actually ends up being, but in any regard, thank you all for hanging out with me tonight, listening to all of my ramblings and whatnot, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please respond accordingly to whatever platform you are currently listening to this podcast on. I appreciate all the support as always, and just know that I make these podcasts for you. You know, if nobody ever listened, I won't have anyone to make it for. So even just the fact that one person is out there listening to this and they're connecting with it means the world to me. And that little ditty was for you. Anyway, hope you guys are safe out there. Stay cool, stay calm, stay collected, and know that you are loved and know that you are very special to me. Bye.